So it's been 2 weeks since our last meeting, and that is the time period that my report will refer to. The Thursday before we went on break, we had our 4th grade science fair. All of the BRS students were able to see the projects. The students did a wonderful job at the science fair. On that Thursday night as well, there was a high school band concert that I heard was lovely. Third marking period ended on April 8th on the high school and the middle school, for the high school and the middle school. And the high school grades for the marking period will be posted on eSchool on April 29th. Families can contact teachers or counselors with any questions. Our middle school grade dates are being confirmed, but should follow similar time periods. And I should just say we are now in the 4th quarter, folks. And if it's exciting as our March Madness, we should be in for a roller coaster ride here. So welcome to the 4th quarter. One of the recommended action plans in our strategic plan in the curriculum strategy was to join the Tri-States Consortium. So our district joined the Tri-States Consortium, and when I came in December, Don Mara and I went to the initial training. And just before break, we went on our first school visit, which was very interesting. So we had our first experience. So we were learning about the tool. We were having our first time in application of it. So we spent 2.5 days visiting another district. They used a consultancy model of the tool, and we looked at their professional development, and they had some essential questions that we were there to investigate and help them understand where they were with the status of those questions. So we engaged in this process really to use the information in our decision-making process about continued participation in the consortium. So we haven't rendered a decision yet, but that I think was a big step for us in movement towards some of our recommended action plans in our strategic goal, and just to make sure that everybody knows that we were trying this and that we weren't goofing off for 2.5 days. So a tremendous learning experience for us, and a lot to learn and a lot to think about. Over the weekend before spring break, we had some really great results from our middle school science Olympiads, and I'll just read some stats on them. They ranked number 16 within the top 10% of all science Olympiad teams in New York State. They achieved their first ever #1 ranking, and we placed in the medal. We placed in the medaled section, which means we made the top 10 for 8 challenges. So really just tremendous stats for our middle school science Olympiads. Much congratulations go out to them and their advisors. And in the words of one of the advisors, they said, most importantly, it was great to see a positive team spirit and excitement for celebrating science. So it's probably the best part of everything that was said about it. So that was before spring break, and then spring break hit, and I hope everybody was able to rest and relax and enjoy the holidays if you celebrate them. As you know, our spring athletic season is well underway. We had our baseball team went down to Florida. They managed a couple of hiccups with health and travel itineraries being changed, but they overall had a great time, and our other teams competed here locally. It was very nice to just look out and see the softball game happening in the middle of the day, and go out there and watch them compete as well. I think I was down there yesterday at the girls lacrosse game, so it's always a lot of action packed around here with athletics. We heard from a very silent New York State Department of Health over spring break. So they didn't do their Friday drop at 6 o'clock with new information. It's like in the middle of spring break week. They released a webinar, which basically reiterated all of the COVID-19 rules that currently exist. So just as a reminder, if you test positive, it's a mandatory 5-day isolation. And then when you come back to school, it's a mandatory 5 days of wearing a mask while you're in school. And just one other thing about COVID, we still have a ton of test kits. So really, anyone at home that needs any test kits, stop by one of the 3 schools, stop by district office. We have unexpired test kits to give out. So I know there was a lot going around between allergies and the stomach bug and a lot of other fun stuff. So if you need a kit, please ask, come by. We'll give you 2 because we have them to offer all of our families and our staff. 2 other things. The middle school PTA book fair starts tomorrow and goes through Friday. The kids will be able to stop by during one of the 3 days during their ELA periods, during their ELA class. And lastly, I just wanted to share that I have started another phase of my entry plan work here in Pleasantville, and I have started meeting with all of the co-curricular personnel. So that's really like all of our teacher leaders. We planned for half-hour meetings, and they have routinely gone for at least an hour. There's just such amazing work going on, and it's been so insightful for me as a new leader to learn from them what they're doing, what's working, any ideas that they have. So I'm just so appreciative of all the work that they're doing on behalf of our students, and thankful for the willingness to share so much of their passion and ideas with me. That is the conclusion of my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Fran.